Hi, hello everyone. Thank you for joining my Zoom today. This is an opportunity you won't want to miss. My name is Brianne Carter. And before I get started on my presentation today, I just want you guys to think a little bit. So, first, I want you guys to imagine you're sitting down at lunch or dinner, just over a meal with friends or family. It could be me, it could be somebody in this call, or it could just be somebody else that you know. But instead of this just being a casual meal where you're having like general conversation, everybody at the table is looking at their phone instead of paying attention to what you're saying. How would that make you feel? Pretty bad, right? As a student that uses technology daily, as we all are college students, you pretty much know how it can be having to use technology, whether it's for your classes, whether it's to keep in touch with other people, just a general everyday world. This is something that we can witness every day. Recent research studies have even shown that the amount of screen time that we allow ourselves affects things like our mental health, as well as our thinking skills and the way our relationships develop. Screen time refers to the amount of time that we allow ourselves on technology. This could be on devices like what are you on right now, your phones, your iPads, as well as tablets, and even your computers, which this often replaces our face-to-face communication, which is something that we should really prioritize, something that we've more so lost in our current day situations with how popular screen time and phones have been. Sorry. With challenges like the Chick-fil-A phone-free meal trend receiving a lot of negative attention really truly shows how dependent society has been and is currently on uh, how much we use our screens. It has become something that we are dependent on and like we just cannot like go without in our daily lives. And this is something that we need to focus on and try to change. By reducing our screen time intake and increasing face to face interactions, especially during meals, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or even just a casual snack in your local cafe, this will improve your mental health as well as strengthen your cognitive development and also build stronger relationships, which is something that you need in everyday life. First, let's get into how our screen time affects our mental health. Our screen time plays a big part in our mental health. Excessive screen time has actually been linked to the problems with increased anxiety, stress, and emotional issues. Now, I just want you guys to think about this. Think back to when you first got your first phone or electronic device, or just were first introduced into social medias or anything that has to do with technology. Do you like now, thinking about how your life is now and how your life was before, do you think there's a big change in how stressed out you are and your emotional issues? Because according to the studies published by PubMed Central, higher screen times and usage has been associated with poor mental health, especially in adolescents. So, by using less screen time and using less technology and prioritizing our face-to-face interactions, we will actually be reducing our stress levels. Because being constantly exposed to social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, anything like that, as well as digital content, can cause overstimulation and comparison of yourself and others, as well as emotional fatigue. And that's something that we really don't want to prioritize or something that we want to increase. It's something that we want to decrease as we're growing adults and coming into this new life. We don't want to make this a new habit and teach our younger kids as well as students, siblings, or anybody that is younger than you, the younger generations, that this is something that's okay and something that should be normalized, because it's not. By reducing our screen times, this will allow us as individuals to be more present, lowering our stress and improving our well-being in the process. Because face-to-face interactions during meals is one easy way and an effective way to provide emotional support and meaningful connections, with others. something that our screens just simply cannot do. While we may be able to have phone calls and like Zoom calls like we're doing right now, FaceTime calls or texting, it doesn't communicate the same things that in-person communication can. Next, let's get into how it affects how we process our information. So sorry. Heavy screen time usage can negatively impact things like attention span, memories, as well as learning abilities. Research, also published by PubMed Central, demonstrates how excessive digital media usage is associated with reduced cognitive performance and focus. The constant multitasking between apps and notifications may seem like a good thing in hindsight, but in reality, it's not. We think that it's a good thing because we're actually learning to multitask and do multiple things at once, but it's actually teaching our brains to associate the things that we do, like our everyday lives, like any basic task, with a distraction. We'll now train our brains that like a distraction is going to constantly happen. So it actually decreases our ability to think deeply. Face-to-face communication, on the other hand, encourages active listening, critical thinking, as well as problem solving. Additional research has proven that by reducing screen distractions improves communication and social interactions overall. And this is something, as we grow as individuals and as a society, something that we really want to prioritize and maintain, because really our communication, you can't go without communication. Communication is in everything you do, whether that's your body language, whether that's vocal. You just have to communicate just in the times that we're living in now. And so by reducing our screen times and focusing more on our face-to-face interactions, this actually increases our communication skills as well as our relationships, which brings me to my last point on how screen time has a major impact on our relationships. Phone usage during meals can reduce the quality of conversations and weaken our social bonds. According to Easy Business School, face-to-face communications and conversations are actually more powerful because they build trust as well as empathy and deeper understanding. Nonverbal communication, like eye contact, like what we're doing right now, body language of what I'm doing, like gesturing, as well as just like how you're sitting, your posture, just basic things like that, play a key role in how we build our relationships. But this is lost when we are on our screens, like I stated before. When you're on your screens, like right now, you can't see my body language as much, so it doesn't communicate the urgency and the emphasis that I'm actually putting on what I'm saying right now. So by doing face-to-face communication rather than online communication, even though we're in different places, which is fine, it's actually better to have face-to-face communication just so you can really feel everything that I'm saying and what urgency that I'm putting on the situation. In conclusion, it is clear that screen time affects more than just how we spend time. It affects how we think, how we feel, and how we connect. Many people use their phones constantly, even during meals, and without realizing the impact that it has on our lives. So, by reducing the screen time and prioritizing our face-to-face interactions, we can improve our mental health, strengthen our cognitive abilities, and build our relationships better. And I just want to point out that I just really feel like this is a strong topic that we should really like try to implicate into our everyday lives, because this is something that is like currently affecting us. And rather than letting the long-term effects hit us later on in life, we can stop it now or slow it down to something that we can control without actually being affected the way that our other generations or our current generation is being affected right now. Today, it has been shown how screen time affects mental health, limit cognitive development, and overall weakens your relationships. So I want you to just think for me. The next time you sit down to eat, The simple choice to put down your phone could strengthen your mind, your mood, and your connections with others. So I want you to think for the next time that you decide to have a meal with somebody else, is your phone really that important? Or should you prioritize and pay attention to the person that is in front of you instead of focusing on little distractions? And think about what your choice may do and how it may affect you in the long run. So thank you again. My name is Brianne Carter. It's been an amazing time talking to you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night.